Hey gamers, today we're going to look at Oracle of Delphi. Let's check it out. A little bit of setup on this game, but what you're going to do is everyone's going to have their own player board. They're going to start with their little gods down here. When they bring them out, depending on whether it's a 4, 3, or 2-player game, they'll bring them up there. But they all stay down here to start off. You're going to shuffle these tiles and give one boat tile randomly to everyone and put them there. It'll give a little symbol there, and the rule book will tell you what each one does. You'll have 3 dice that you roll and put them in their respective colors there on the board. You'll have, first player will start with 3 favor tokens, and then every other player starts with a +1 token afterwards. You have these double-sided tiles that you'll mix around and then set them up similar to this. You'll have these 3 white little temple tiles you'll put here on your player board. You'll also start with 1 random threat card or damage card that you'll put over here, and you'll have your own little player aid, nice little cardboard player aid, tell you what's going to happen. You have your little dice card deck here, little special gods here, scroll deck, a lot of favor tokens over the side. The board is put together in a special way. It's shown in the rule book. But after it's all done, you're going to take all the little statues of that tile and put them right near that tile. Every time you see those little cube icons, you're going to take 4 cubes and plant them all around the board. Whenever you see these little mountains, you're going to take 3 monsters, the square ones, and put them on there, unless it says 2. So something like this has the icon of 2 monsters, and some of the other ones like that do. So you put 2 monsters in that case there. Other things you'd have is these little temple icons here on the board. You'll kind of mix up all these little colored temples and put 1 on each area. And then for the rest of the little green areas, you'll take these little cloud tiles and place them above them. Also, you're going to place Zeus in one of these 3 little empty holes here, and all the players start off inside of that little area with Zeus. And once that's over, you're ready to play the game. Now, job A, very, very, very easy to kind of help you out here. First off, if you don't like a die, you can just discard it, and you can get one of these 3 things. One would be a card, and this card would represent a black die. So at any time you wanted to use this, you could cash this in just as a black die action later on. The other thing you could do instead of grabbing a card is grab 2 more favor tokens. Favor tokens can do a lot of different things in the game. One of them that you'll be using them for is playing them, and it says here in between your icons here that if I didn't want a pink and I wanted it to be a blue, I could pay a favor token and then move this pink over to blue and take a blue action instead of pink as I had rolled. So it lets you manipulate your rolls, but it lets you do a lot of other things as well. Lastly, if you don't want the card, if you don't want 2 favor tokens, you can look under any 2 of the cloud tiles on your little area board and on other players' little player boards too. You have these little icons that need to match, the temples that you place need to match the icons listed around here. Now, there's several different icons. If you go all the way there, you can't reveal it until your boat has made it there. But if you wanted to, you can discard any die and look under 2. Kind of saves you the trouble from looking around where all these temples need to go. Anyway, the other reminder says, hey, if you don't have any damage, then you get to move up with favor with one of the gods here. Now, I'll talk about this. Everyone started with a little damage card. At the beginning of every round, you're going to roll this 6-sided die. And if it's a 6, everyone takes 2 damage. But if it's a 5 through 1, you have to check and see where they are on the shields. Because if they have it, like it's a 3 that's rolled and I'm at 3 shield, I won't get a damage card. But if it was a 4 or 5, or in this case, anything, I would get a damage card. And damage cards are bad because it says here on the board, if I get 3 of the same color or just 6 of them total, then basically I forfeit my turn. Basically, I take all my die, remove them, and clear all my damage for the round. And that's my 1 turn. So that may happen from time to time. Yes, there are ways to avoid that, but that's what it's talking about. And if you ever start a round with no damage, then you can move up any of these favor tokens with the gods. Now, moving on, what can I do here? Well, the actions are very simple. Here is 1 sail. You can move up to 3 spaces here, and depending on what color die I pick, depends on the outline tile that I need to land on. So for instance, for this one, if I pick black, my little boat could go 1, 2, 3 and land on black there. Or maybe 1, 2, 3 and land on black there. If you wanted to move additional spaces, let's say I was going 1, 2, 3, and I wanted to move 2 more spaces here, I would use 2 more favor tokens, and I can move it down there. For each favor token you spend, it would give you an extra push on your boat there. Next up, you can fight monsters here. When you're next to a monster pile, as long as you have a die of that color, so in this case it would be green, blue, or black, I could fight the monster. Fighting the monster is probably the most complicated thing in the game. What you're doing is you're rolling a 10-sided die where this is a 0, not a 10. and the monster starts off at a 9. So you'd roll it, and by the way, it's a 9 minus your shield. So if my shield was at 3, it'd be a 6 that I'd have to roll. But let's say it's a 9, and I roll it, and I get, now you think that's a 10? That is a 0, which means, no, that's a fail. But every time you want to re-roll, you can use one of your favorite tokens, and the number will be decreased by 1. So now it'd be an 8. And I'd roll it again. Oh, and I got it. Wow, that never happens. And then I would defeat the monster. Okay, so what happens when you defeat a monster? Well, you see right here, there are 3 types of monsters I need to defeat in this game. Like I said, these are double-sided tokens here, but I had to defeat a black, a red, and a white means basically just any type monster here. So when I do that, I get a scroll token. And when I get the scroll cards can do anything. They're like little bonuses here. And this says, hey, I can get either a red, green, or yellow cube and put it in my boat. And as you see, most boats only have 2 carrying areas to carry statues and cubes with. The next thing you can do is reveal a little clouded area. So if my cloud was here, if I had the red die, this is a red outline there, and I don't have a red die, but I could pay 2 favor tokens if I wanted to move this to red. Either way, once I pay it, I could reveal it. Now, if it matches one of the ones I have here, I can plant one on my next turn. But as you see here, or with one of my other die, but you see here, it's not one. But if it was, then I would take the one that the symbol that corresponds with that one, and then I get to plant that temple there, thereby completing this and moving up one of my gods up 1. Now, what do these guys do? Well, the book tells you, but it's kind of very simple. Once they get up to the top, you can take super actions. Once you take their super action, you move them all the way back down to the bottom. So for instance, with blue, I can move my ship anywhere on the board. For yellow, that means for one time, any card, any dice card I have, or any dice I have, will count for any color regardless what it says. What green says is, hey, I can flip over any of these cloud tokens I want, even if I'm next to it. What red says, I can get rid of all of my damage cards. What black says is you can automatically defeat a monster when you're on it. You can automatically, without rolling, automatically defeat a monster. And what pink says is I can grab a statue from any of these areas that I want. So once you use their little special ability, then you'll move them down. Now, we'll say at the end of your turn, you're going to roll your die, and all the other players will move up one of their gods. So if it was the end of my turn, I'd re-roll, and all the other players, that's amazing, could get a black, red, or yellow. So they can move up one of these 3 gods. Now, I can't, but on the end of their turns, when they are re-rolling their die, I may also move up. So let's say the next person rolled a green, a red, and a blue. Then I can move up my blue there. Of course, if it was a 3 or 2 player game, that's the cloud I would start on as indicated on the player board. But anyway, that's what happens at the end of the turn. Everyone can raise these up, so you'll get a few of them up to be taking super actions along the way. But anyway, what's the next thing? Okay, of course, revealing one and planting it, those are 2 different actions there. That's what it says there. This one says, hey, you can pick up and drop off cubes in temples. So if I'm near a little cube area, of course I have the die of that color, and then I can place it. If I have room in my boat, I can place it there, and then I got to deliver it to the corresponding temple. So this yellow one would have to go over here. This red one would have to go way over there. The black one would have to go way over there. So, you know, it may take a while to get some of these if you're not first come, first serve. There's a big race around here to figure out which one, where's the quickest routes here. But anyway, those are different actions. Another action you do is pick off and drop off statues. How that works here is when I get here, if I have a green icon, I can pick this up because it's a green statue, and then I can plant it anywhere on one of these little areas on the board as long as it matches one of the 3 colors. Let's say another turn I went over here. If I had a green, pink, or yellow, well, I have a green here, so I could utilize the green and put it here. But if I had a yellow, let's say, I could have done yellow and put it here. So it doesn't matter as long as the die matches that symbol. Now, when I place it there, 2 things happen. First off, no one can place another one in that area like using the yellow die, and no one may place a green statue on that island. They can go to one of the other islands to place a green statue, but not on any of these 2. Whenever you place a statue, as you see here, you will get one of these cards here, these God cards. So I placed a green statue, so I'd look at the green. Now, they're all the same, but I'll just tell you what they are for this one. It says, hey, from now on, I can pick this, and any green die that I have could count as any die. Other things you can do, this is for all the colors here, you can go an additional 3 spots in your on your ship, so let you move around faster. These can move your shield token up 2 spots, and now you can avoid taking red damage if it's a red one, or yellow damage if it's a yellow one. And so yeah, those are the 3 kind of abilities you can do, and you get to pick one for each one of the statues that you've delivered, depending on its color. I should also mention that when you deliver one of the cubes, you get, as it says here, the reward of 3 more additional favor tokens. Now, you're going around doing all that. Again, at the end of your round, you're rolling your die, and then the other players are moving up one of their gods according to the ones that you played on here, and you're doing the same with them at the end of their turn. And once you have completed all of your activities here, your quest here, you need to sail and get back to Zeus. First one to do that wins the game. Final thoughts. What do I think about the game? Well, one thing I forgot to mention here is when you deliver one of the white temples, the symbol that matches the player board, you will get a bonus for that, depending on what symbol it was where you deliver the white temple. Talk about this game. This game I've been wanting to get for quite some time. It's so much on the secondary market. I don't think Queen Games is going to reprint it, you know, like with poor art, and it'll cost just as much as this version does here. But I do think this is a fun game. If you're a Feld fan, yes, sadly, this is one you may want to get. My gaming group absolutely love this. Absolutely love it. All the new games I've gotten in this year, this is their #1 by far. When I showed them the used price, I went, that's not bad. This game is worth it. Yeah, because we really have a lot of fun as you're just moving around trying to get as many things as you can do and trying to be very conservative in your time. Where you go, can I do that? If I go there, I can deliver that statue, but he's about to deliver it, so maybe I want to get a cube over here first and go here and do this. Man, it's so exciting. And then, of course, moving up, when you want to use those gods. You don't get that many times you can use the gods, and you definitely won't get to use them all, because remember, you're only moving one up. It felt like forever until I could finally take one of my little god moves, but it was very satisfying when I took it. All of this really comes together. It's not that confusing. The very first time I sat down with my gaming group, we got it immediately. Those favor tokens go a long way, man. You need those favor tokens. And like I said, different strategies. Both times we played, different people won in different ways. And the tiles are double-sided. I don't know if I said that, but it leads for a lot of replayability. So yes, this is a really good game. One of Feld's better games, and one that I will be keeping in my collection. All right, gamers, that's it for now. Until next time, game on!